A mother in Texas has been sentenced to 6 years in prison for exposing her healthy son to hundreds of unneeded medical tests and surgery. It all totaled 13 major surgeries, and it left him dependent on a wheelchair and needing a feeding tube.
It's difficult to have to go home and tell him that his mother is going to prison. But his safety is what's most important.
In the sacred bond between a mother and a child, trust is paramount. Love is unconditional and protection is a given. But what happens when that bond is severed by betrayal? When a mother's love turns into an obsession, a child's innocence into a victim, and a family's home into a house of lies? Well, something similar happened in Dallas. This story is about Kaylene Bowen-Wright. You know the saying that parents always know what's best for their children is a truth universally cherished. It's nice to know that you can put your faith in the very individuals whose job it is to take care of and nurture you. This reassuring idea is flipped on its head by the horrific story of Kaylene Bowen-Wright, a Texan from Dallas. Think about being born into a world where you will spend your whole life, or like most of your young life, in and out of hospitals, undergoing procedures and medications. Unfortunately, this was the case with Bowen-Wright's son, Christopher, who had to endure 323 hospitalizations and 13 major surgeries before he turned the age of 8 years old. In these bizarre events, it started in 2009, only 11 days after Christopher's premature birth, when his mother told nurses that he had an allergy to milk. This started an awful 8-year pattern of constant visits to doctors' offices, lies, and multiple unneeded procedures. When Bowen claimed that Christopher was battling anything from a milk allergy to fatal cancer, her lies reached alarming proportions. Her outlandish lies were an attempt to gain pity and attention and financial support from well-wishers who were taken in by her story. She used Facebook posts, legal action, and crowdfunding to manipulate people. She told doctors that her son Christopher would never walk again and that he was in very bad shape. In child custody cases, her brazen assertions shocked even the father, Ryan Crawford. Christopher's 8 years became marked by tubes, ports, and surgical scars as a result of her deceit. He even developed multiple potentially fatal blood infections as a result of unneeded medical treatments. However, the truth always comes out in the end. And in 2015, everything started to unravel. Doctors at Texas Children's Hospital in Houston noticed that Christopher's test results and his outward appearance didn't match up with his mother's dramatic descriptions. Because of this finding, they contacted Child Protective Services and an investigation was started. When police arrived to Christopher's house, they discovered him hooked up to an IV and wearing an oxygen mask. A distinct picture emerged from the little boy's own words and deeds, though. He recalled his childhood adventures with his sibling, which included using monkey bars and shooting hoops. Christopher did not require feeding tubes of oxygen after further evaluation confirmed his ability to eat normally. The lies were exposed, and Kaylene was taken into custody for allegedly harming a child. She eventually revealed her lies, putting an end to her son's nightmare. Not only is Christopher's story a shocking portrayal of a mother's betrayal, but it also served as a sobering reminder of the fragility of trust and the necessity of constant attention while caring for children. His strength and perseverance proved that the human spirit can overcome incredible adversity. Scary as it was, the courtroom was where the truth about Kaylene Bowen's dishonesty was finally revealed. Justice for the young boy who had been through so much was served when, after months of court hearing and admission of guilt, Judge White sentenced Bowen to 6 years in jail. The psychological aspect of the case was explored, with some lawyers claiming that Bowen-Wright suffered from Munchausen syndrome by proxy. This rare yet frightening disorder typically manifests in moms and results in the maltreatment of their children by having them create and exaggerate ailments that doesn't exist. This already convoluted case was further complicated by the testimony of a medical expert, Dr. Catherine Ayub. Heath Hyde, Bowen-Wright's attorney, argued that his client's mental problem might be treated more effectively through therapy than behind bars. Prosecutors responded strongly to the compassionate plea. Prosecutors in charge, Jennifer Sawyer, made an articulate case for why Bowen-Wright should be punished more severely than with only treatment, because Christopher, her son, endured unneeded procedures for so long. The prosecutor asked for the minimum prison term of 8 years. The prosecutor vehemently argued that she stole her son's childhood from both Christopher and his father. The effects of Kaylene's action, however, were felt more not only by Christopher but the other children that she had. The anguish of being tricked into thinking their brother was dying definitely had to leave some scars on his siblings. The web of dishonesty spread to include friends, family, and the wider community, casting a pall over many lives. Because of the far-reaching effects of Bowen-Wright's abuse, it's hard to even say where her victims stopped, the prosecutor said. Crawford, Christopher's father, showed raw emotion throughout the legal arguments and medical studies, which served as a painful reminder of the cost. The judge's punishment was felt throughout the courtroom. After years of Crawford fighting to show that his child was a victim, and he sobbed as he heard her sentence of 6 years, justice was somewhat, given. The tragic story of Kaylene Bowen illustrates how easily trust may be broken and how terrible its effects can be. It compels us to address a lot of stigmas about mental illness, the complexities of justice, and the need for constant vigilance to safeguard society's most defenseless members. So I believe she was sentenced in, I want to say 2017. I'm not sure. 2017. Well, anyway, she received 6 years, and the father was finally granted custody of his child, and he seems to be doing really, really good with his dad. So, I don't know if it was mental illness. I don't know. I'm not sure what, Munchausen by proxy is about, but it seemed like it's, a sickness that maybe the people that have it, they want attention for themselves. I'm not sure. It's really, I can't judge. So, let me know your thoughts on this and leave your comment. And please like and subscribe. And thank you for watching.